Father James Anyebu is a Roman Catholic priest of the Diocese of Aba in Abia State, Nigeria. He was ordained priest on the 6th of July 2013 on the memorial of Saint Maria Goretti. He has an academic background in philosophy, theology, counseling, and psychotherapy. He is currently a missionary priest serving as an assistant priest at St. Mary Catholic Church, Bewley, which covers about 7 Catholic communities in the Highlands of Scotland. In response to the challenge posed by the COVID-19 lockdown, Father James took a proactive step by founding the Faith Chat platform. This initiative is a penitent response to the contemporary crisis of faith, inspired by the question, when the Son of Man comes, will he find any faith on earth? Taken from Luke 18:8. Under his guidance, the Faith Chat platform has conducted over 200 charitable work, positively impacting the lives of more than 40,000 individuals across Africa, including Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and Mozambique. In Scotland, the platform collaborates with the Touch of Love outreach in Aberdeen, contributing to food relief efforts for families in need and a rising awareness about mental health. Beyond this traditional pastoral role, Father James embraces modern form of communication, establishing a presence as a TikTok enthusiast and Instagram influencer. His engagement spans various social media platforms, reflecting his commitment to reaching and guiding lost souls. Thank you very much. So we welcome Father James to the platform.
Holy family.
Make our families like yours.
Holy family.
Make our families like yours.
Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Zizi, for that introduction. It's just me and nothing more. I'm very privileged to be in your midst today and to speak to you on this very pertinent topic. It is very timely and very critical for the church in relation to the changing nature of our society today. While I was listening to the talks and your engagement earlier on, I picked a few things that I would like to just touch on before I continue on my topic. Just a few things that might make sense to us who have, to those who have done that little activity. Someone spoke about participation and, you know, the promise is not fulfilled. Personally, I feel that's unbelievable. I feel, you know, I feel the church must not find themselves in such situation where they make promises to young people and will not fulfill them. It doesn't make sense at all. So if that's the case, you can present your case and find a way to, you know, to redeem, the church must find a way to redeem their promises. Because our God is a promise keeper, and the church who follows in the footsteps of Jesus Christ, who is a promise keeper, must also learn to fulfill her promise, and if possible, not make a promise that she cannot keep. So please hold your parishes accountable for such. And then in terms of finances, churches and parishes must invest and empower their parishioners in Nigeria as much as possible. Why? Because, you know, the government is failing us, and the church and the people are trusting the church to help. So the church must not also fail the people, and the people are making lots of investments in the church. So the church must also turn around and invest in the people so that the people can continue to invest in the church. And I must have praise, unusual praise for, you know, empowering young people. Every unusual praise, you always see young people being empowered. So I must have praised that, and call young talents in your parish, in the Holy Family, to come out. You should come out, express your talents, go to your parish priest, the chairperson of YCAA, I suppose, must take up that opportunity, that responsibility, go to the parish priest, tell the parish priest to allow you to source out for funds so that you can encourage these young talents, and organize programs that encourages young talents, because that's something that will keep bringing them closer and closer. And that's how you can involve young people in the leadership of the church, just by giving them that which they love. And then we must understand that Catholic Church has a very huge value for our elderly people. You know, that's sometimes the reason why people are like, you know, the young people are not well recognized. It feels as though that the elderly are more recognized. But amongst every other denomination, especially in Nigeria, Catholic Church stands out as one that appreciates our elderly people even the more and gives them room to thrive. And you know that these people have worked so hard within the society, and they want to really continuously do something and be active even as they retire in their old age. However, bridge must be created. You know, bridge must be created to involve these young talents, these young people, and never let them leave the church, because you are the future of the tomorrow church. Also, yeah, if possible, a group talked about, you know, engaging young talent as well and young people. I see that sometimes we mistake, what do we mean by young people? Do we mean people in secondary school? Do we mean people in primary school? Do we mean people in the universities? You know, what do we mean by young people? Who are the youth in the parish? So do we have different levels of youth groups in the parish? And to me, I believe that because Nigeria is still a growing church, so you may not talk too much about financial engagement, but parishes must at least give some sort of remuneration to, you know, to certain individuals who might be professionals in these fields, to help and arrange the young people in their parishes, possibly creating different groups and looking after them and keeping in touch with them. And while these people also will take the responsibility to make sure that they do not, they improve and not abuse their positions. And friends, we must also be very careful not to make the church what it is not. You know, people, we are talking about creating social activities and the rest of them. The church is not a social ground, but the church can incorporate some social activities that, you know, improves the culture and not demean the church. So we should try and balance these things. But this onus lies in the hands of mostly the parish priests and all those who help the parish priests to run the parish. Okay, so that's just what I picked up from this. Now let me go to my topic, because before I carry on, I go where I don't know. So the topic today is embracing. So you asked me to talk about leveraging, you know, technology to connect and engage young people. And so while I was reflecting on that, I came with an extra to say the digital cathedral, embracing the digital cathedral, leveraging technology to connect and engage young Catholics. So we know the cathedral, the word cathedral relates to a church that contains, you know, the seat of the bishop, the seat of the diocese. So the cathedral stands as a representation of the whole churches within a particular diocese. And that is where the seat of the bishop is. The social media then becomes a cathedral for all churches to converge. I remember in 2008, when I wrote an article for the theological magazine of the Blessed Michael Iwenetansi Seminary, Onisha, on this similar topic. And while I was making my research on that topic, then I came to the realization that Google at that time has become the new Areopagus of our time. What is Areopagus? If you read Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, verse 19, you will see the word Areopagus being mentioned, and it is literally the big rock of Ares. So the Pagus of Ares, a figure from Greek mythology. Areopagus was where Athens intellectuals gathered to discuss religion and philosophy. It was where all ideas and philosophies are displayed, where people seek for truth, understanding, and clarification to their beliefs. And social media has become this. Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, from verse 20 to 21. It says, "For you are bringing some strange things to our ears. Therefore, we want to know what these things mean. For all the Athenians and the foreigners who were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new things." So Areopagus becomes that place where people come to speak about new ideas or to listen to new ideas and to gain clarifications. You can put up my slide, please. Okay, so we know that Paul was very faithful in preaching the gospel, and prior to this, was faithfully preaching the gospel in the marketplace before the Lord granted him an opportunity to attack the spiritual heart of the idolatrous city of Athens. And in Acts chapter 17, from verse 22 to 23, then Paul stood in the midst of the Areopagus and said, "Men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are very religious. For as I was passing through and considering the objects of your worship, I even found an altar with this inscription: to the unknown God. Therefore, the one whom you worship without knowing, him I proclaim to you." I admire the courage of St. Paul here, and I wish to invoke such courage for all who are ministers of gospel today. So friends, we live in an era where digital technology has permeated every aspect of our lives. So it is very imperative that, we as Catholics, the foundation of all Christian communities, like St. Paul in the pagan territory of Athens, harness these tools to foster necessary and morally acceptable connections and engagements, and promoting Christ-centered spiritual growth among our youths. So my focus going forward would primarily be on the African church, particularly on the Nigerian church. We are witnessing a very profound shift in how people, especially young adults, engage with faith and spirituality in Nigeria today. Traditional models of religious participation are evolving. We see that on social media always. And then we also see Pentecostal churches taking up online worship spaces, and fewer young people attend the mass regularly. Sometimes we get distracted, of course, by the number of people we see in church weekly. And I'm so happy that one of the groups spoke about, why people are leaving the church, because we need to recognize that our young people are leaving the church to our sister churches because they feel that something was lacking and there was not enough catechesis to keep them going. That's why sometimes we get distracted by the number of people we see in church weekly. The church is full, that's no problem. But then we forget the thousands of young Catholics who are no longer practicing or have become passive or lax Catholics. Now look at the chart in front of you. According to the Pew Research Center, only 36% of millennials attend religious services at least once a month, compared to 51% of baby boomers. But this is in the United States, right? Then in Nigeria, this can be appraisal, but at the same time, we need to look deep. Out of a population of about 212.9 million people, 31.6 million are baptized Catholics, which is about 15% of Nigeria's population. And these charts came in February 2023. Now, despite this, Nigeria still ranks among the top 15 most populous Catholic nations in the world. So you can clap for yourselves. Now, in Africa, however, the DR Congo leads the way with 53% of its population, or 49.3 million citizens being Catholics. That's really interesting. Now, these statistics reflect numbers and can be deceptive because we are talking about baptized Catholics. So not all baptized Catholics are church goers today. Remember that. So we need to work harder to reach out to every individual as much as we can. Now, there are opportunities in the digital realm. More than half of the world now uses social media, and that is 59% of the world's population. A total of 4.76 billion people around the world now uses social media, with 137 million new users coming online within the last 12 months. The average daily time spent using social media is 2 hours and 31 minutes. So as of January 2023, Nigeria had about 31.6 million active social media users, with WhatsApp being the most popular platform used by close to 95% of these users. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram followed as the most used social media platforms in Nigeria, with TikTok now almost trying to lead the way. Friends, the digital world offers unprecedented opportunities to connect with young people on platforms where they already spend a significant portion of their time. So social media, mobile applications, and online communities can very much serve as modern-day cathedrals, spaces where young people gather, share, and deepen their faith. So let's talk about social media as a tool for evangelization. So social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok have become very powerful tools for evangelization. They provide a space to share inspirational messages, scripture readings, and personal faith testimonies. Priests, bishops, and young influencers who are devout Catholics can play a very significant role in these spaces. By sharing their faith journeys and daily practices, they can inspire more young Christians to explore and deepen their own faith. Now, I pause here to say that, what I meant by sharing their faith practices is, their personal journey. Young people are more attuned to hearing people's personal testimonies and personal journeys. So somehow we end up talking about the Catechism of the Catholic Church. We end up talking about this and that, this rule, this dogma, that dogma, that we miss the most important thing. The reason why we have faith models in the church today, like the saints, is because we look at their life, we read their lives, their mistakes, their joys, their faith, and then we gain some insight from them. So we must also, as faith channels, those who are online, priests, bishops, young Catholic influencers, try to share more of our own personal journeys. You hear people talk about, you should do this, you should do that, you have to be this, you have to be that. But it's not, they don't want to talk about, who am I? How am I becoming what I am preaching to the people, what I am expressing to the people? Do I, observe the Lenten season as I ought to myself? Do I go to church every Sunday? What are the challenges I face with going to church on Sundays? What are my challenges? What are my flaws? Where are my strengths? People want to hear that, and they just want to hear it from their bishops. They want to hear it from their priests. They want to hear it from their catechists. They want to hear it from young influencers. And that's what attracts people the more. That's why we say practice what you preach. Your life can be the Bible others read. Anyway, so I continue. A notable example in the rise of Catholic YouTubers and Instagram influencers who engage or is the rise of Catholic YouTubers and Instagram influencers who engage with their followers through question and answer sessions, live prayer meetings, and discussions on theological topics, catechism, biblical exegesis, and church history. We see these influencers often reach thousands, sometimes millions of young people. The Archbishop of Manila in Philippines in 2019, during the World Youth Day in Panama, says that young people today are longing for real, authentic encounters. Real, authentic encounters. And social media, when used wisely, can be a powerful tool to facilitate these encounters. Now, let's go into giving examples of online communities and virtual parishes and see how we can learn from them. Now, beyond social media, there are a growing trend of online communities and virtual parishes. These platforms can offer a sense of belonging and community that many young people find lacking in traditional parish settings. So virtual Bible studies, prayer groups, and discussion forums can provide spaces where young Catholics can explore their faith, ask questions, and support one another. For instance, we have platforms like Word on Fire Digital by Bishop Barron. He was actually a great influential to me when I started my online works. I love listening to him a whole lot. I may not be speak as he does, but I learned a whole lot from him. He gave me courage to actually attack the media space. And then we have Nigerians and Africans who are into these social media platforms. Like we have Father George Husani in Abuja. You know, I love his homilies every Sunday. I love listening to him every Sunday. And he attacks also the political space in Nigeria. Like we have Father Oluma, we have Father Kelvin Ugu, Father Oluma preaching, and his works, Father Kelvin Ugu on Facebook, Troublemaker. We have Father Emmanuel Ojefo. You know, we have Father Pascal Obaleke, who releases short homilies and great articles. He's a doctor in Belgium. He has alongside one another. We also have Faith Inspiration by Father George Adimike. He publishes articles, organizes youth forums and children forums as well. He's in Onitsha, Anambra State. And then also we have the Twitter space by Father Ugochukwu Ugwoke. Many of us here join the Twitter space every morning for the Holy Rosary. I do myself to encourage others to do so. That's why I join every morning. And then myself, with Faith Chat platform, we also have a Faith Book by Father Chike Osamo, you know, and these groups, they try to create, you know, extensive libraries of Catholic content, you know, and this content includes video series, podcasts, community prayers, short homilies, and ebooks, which are very accessible anytime and anywhere for Catholics. With resources like this, young people can engage with their faith and have different choices of who to connect with according to their individual needs and schedules. Faith Chat platform, which I founded in 2020, like Zizi mentioned earlier, in response to the crisis of faith in the world, particularly addressing the dichotomy between Catholics and other Christian denominations, has become a valuable resource for young at heart Catholic Christians today. So we do not just pray, as you may see by the left side of your screen there on Instagram, where we converge almost every morning. We also have transformed thousands of lives through our charitable outreaches and talk series. In fact, we have touched more than 70,000 lives since we began our charity work, first organized by Ngozi and her crew in 2021. So, we also organize talk series that ranges from Catholic theological teachings, theological and social teachings, biblical exegesis, and most importantly, sharing of life lessons and motivational talks as well. So on your screen, some of us who are online would know when some of these activities we are carried out. Now, I would like us to listen attentively to this one and see what we can do as a parish and as a church in Nigeria. Mobile apps for spiritual growth. So mobile apps designed for spiritual growth are another innovative way to engage young Catholics. Applications like Hallow, I will come back to the other slide. So applications like Hallow, here, American, like iBreviary American, like EWTN, their application also, American, Laudate, American. These applications provide access to daily readings, prayers, and catechism, which makes it very easy for young people to incorporate their faith into their daily lives. Now, as technology continues to evolve, so too does potential for these tools to become even more immersive and interactive. I'm yet to see applications developed by Nigerians for the African church that addresses the specific needs of African congregations. This should become a priority for the Nigerian Bishops' Conference, among other priorities, of course. Parishes can develop applications that reflect their specific needs, allowing priests and parishioners to connect easily for faith-building purposes. Not just for the collection of money and tithes, please don't quote me. So, because we want to create applications that makes it easy for money to come in, for tithes to come in. But we need to create applications that makes it easy for people to study these catecheses, in the Nigerian fashion, with Nigerian images that they can easily connect with, So can the Nigerian church build her own Catholic app? Can parishes in Nigeria champion this cause to get young people more engaged? How do you do that? We need to invest in these things, because if we are not pursuing it, it will run past us. Technology is every day evolving. It's going into AI tools and the rest of them. And if we are not evangelizing this culture, using it to our benefit, it will outrun us. Many churches are creating their apps, the applications that help them to connect with their church members. Catholic Church must do so, because that's where the young people are every day. I'm coming to the end of my talk, please. The role of parish leaders and translating online ministry into active service. So friends, while technology offers numerous opportunities, parish leadership remains very crucial. So priests, religious educators, and lay faithful who engage in these online platforms or ministries must be well trained and available as resource channels for their communities. Training is very essential. So parishes need to provide training and the necessary resource to help their parishioners use digital platforms effectively and in a Christ-like manner. Moreover, it is essential to create a bridge between online engagement and offline church attendance, encouraging young people to participate in parish activities, volunteer opportunities, and in-person events can help strengthen their connection to the church. Pope Benedict XVI says that faith is not a private matter, a completely individualistic notion, or a merely subjective opinion, but comes from listening and is meant to find expression in words and deeds. And then the Archbishop of Manila also says that young people everywhere are more attracted to direct actions of service and charity. He also noted that, unfortunately, our approach to pastoral ministry towards the youth very often starts from doctrinal initiation, which is okay. It is only afterwards that we get them involved in action. But then he made a new suggestion. He says, but I see nowadays a need to reverse the process. Let them experience service of neighbor and let their hearts burn with service. Then you invite them to the naming of that experience. So the Cardinal believes that the problem does not lie with the young people, but with the pastoral approach of the church. He is very convinced that if we bring them to situations in need of their loving service, they will gladly do it. So parishes must learn to listen to the young people and bring them close, give them something to do. So in that regard, you look at the images before you now, you'll see Faith Chat platform in active service. I chose these because these were predominantly done in Lagos and different years at different times. So one of the first outreaches was the third one, if you count from your left, with wheelchair, washing clothes. Then the third one, that was the first outreach we attended, and then followed by the rest. But these are very active young people. They have time. They want to engage. They want to be active. But are we giving them something to do? When you give someone responsibility, then you see how much they can be involved in the activities around them. So make it open. Leaders of young people, be open to receiving advice, be open to engaging with people in your parish, in the circle. Don't create a circle and lock up. No, open up and make sure that you are welcoming to every young people in your church. That is the only way you can have this church filled with young people. Seek their ideas, seek for their suggestions, and then invite them. Everything they say must not be done, but let them feel that they have been heard. And once young people feel they have been heard, they can put in the work to see that that organization, that platform, that church does not fall. So finally, I want to talk about possible challenges, that we can face in faith ministry, possible challenges, or in online ministry rather. The challenge lies in ensuring that these digital encounters are not superficial. The goal is to cultivate genuine relationships and meaningful spiritual experiences, to remain a bridge that connects the youth with the church. So every online person must be a bridge that connects the youth to the church. If it is for their own personal aggrandizement, please run as fast as your leg can carry you. Go and find others. There are others that helps you to connect with the church. Pope Francis says that communication is a means of expressing the missionary vocation of the entire church. So today, the social networks are one way to experience this call to discover the beauty of faith, the beauty of encountering Jesus. Now, listen to this. Another challenge is that I have encountered Catholics who are online for the sake of its monetary dividends. What they want is what they can gain from the church, from the online. So people coming to ask me, Father James, you're on TikTok, you are making it, you are amassing money. How are you doing it? Tell me, I want to monetize my page. You have not even started and you want to monetize your page. Then the mission is lost. You have to start. Your vision and your mission is to evangelize. And then you will now go and do the rest if it is desired. But engage, bring people in, bring people close to Jesus, help them to engage with the church, help them. And naturally, people will just see and reward you for what you are doing. I tell you, friends, that's what I have been doing. Naturally, people will just reward you, but you have to put in the work. So we must not allow the digital platforms to control or transform us. Facebook, and once you begin to allow them, once you focus on money, they will control you, because they will be telling you, you do this, you do that, you make money. That's why you see some Catholic influencers becoming very controversial to go viral, so that they will gain likes, talking about stupid things in order for them to go viral, to get likes, to get comments. You must not be controversial, but you can express your life experience. Talk about how you are living the faith, and people will immediately follow you. NFCS, living the faith. So we must work to transform and evangelize with humility and selflessness the digital space, and not allow it to transform us. Finally, friends, Embracing the digital cathedral means recognizing and leveraging the potential of technology to connect and engage young Catholics in Nigeria. Despite mobile data limitations, we must consider that as well, mobile data. By meeting them where they are, that is online, we can foster a deeper sense of community. We provide them with needed spiritual nourishment, and we inspire them to live out their faith in meaningful ways. Pope Francis would say that communication, wherever and however it takes place, has opened up broader horizon for many people. And this is a gift of God which involves a great responsibility. CYAA. Join online communities. Go online, share your faith. Do not be shy. Share your faith. Talk about how it feels for you. Pick up your mobile phones. Don't get yourself involved in buying expensive mobile phones without using them properly. Pick them up, use them to evangelize the space, okay? And then allow God to bless you while doing it. Of course, there is monetary benefits. Definitely, yes, there are monetary benefits, but focus first on sharing your faith experiences, and every other thing shall be added unto you. So friends, let us take up this responsibility with enthusiasm, and I say with ecclesial creativity, in order to build a vibrant and all-encompassing digital cathedral that welcomes and nurtures the faith of our young Catholic Nigerians. Thank you, everyone, for listening. God bless you all.
Yes, a round of applause for our father. Father James, thank you for this. We love you, and we've taken note of everything. Thank you very much. God bless you, Padre. More grace to you.
Thank
So
you.
Please, one more, a round of applause for him, please. Yeah, thank you, everybody.